Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for fair trade Bible study that is environmentally and socially sustainable. Today we're looking at Psalm 144. All this week, Psalm 144, today verses 7, 8, and 9. We're still going to have some elements of Psalm 18 in this particular Psalm 144. We've seen them all the way back up into verse 1, verse 2, verse 5, verse 6, and now today even in verse 7, and again in verse 8 and verse 10. We won't cover that today, but we'll see it tomorrow. Also in verse 10, we have elements of Psalm 18. And I don't know if I mentioned this one, but I'm sure I did when we covered Psalm 18, that if you go back to 2 Samuel chapter 22, and that's where David's grand poetry, after all of his enemies had been destroyed and he had been delivered from them, he wrote that song of praise to God, which is the root of all of Psalm 18. Well, let's read today verses 7, 8, and 9. Send thine hand from above, rid me, and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strong children, whose mouths speak vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song unto thee, O God. Upon a psaltery and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. Isn't that beautiful? It's good stuff. Send thine hand from above, he begins. This is Psalm 18, verse 16 again. In that psalm, and here David is asking the Lord to reach down. And notice the very first thing he says, rid me. I love that. Actually, he says it twice in this psalm. Rid me and deliver me. And who's he asking to be rid of? The enemies, those wicked, strange children that seek his life. And he compares them to great waters. You notice that? It makes me think of what the prophet said, when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord will lift up a standard against him. Well, that's what David is experiencing here. He is experiencing this flood-stopping power of God. He says, send down your hand, rid me, and deliver me from the hand of strange children. These are people that are not walking after the covenant. They're not walking in the way of Christ. They're not doing what they're commanded to do. They're living immoral lives, ethically impure lives. They've gone the way of the world. And David says, these are strange children. Notice, whose mouths speak vanity. Didn't he start out with vanity? Oh, it was verse 4. Man is like to vanity. So these children, these strange children, whose mouths speak vanity, well, they're just talking naturally, aren't they? Because that's what they do. That's what we did before we found Christ. That's what we did before God called us effectually to himself. That's what we did. You know, that's what the natural man does. He speaks vanity. It's empty. It's meaningless. It's void of any substance. And that's what these were doing, strange children seeking the life of David. And he says, rid me, deliver me of them, whose mouths speak vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. So not only vain, but false. False in the way of God, false in the way of truth, false in the way of morality. And of course, that's God's way, is morality. Verse 9, I will sing a new song. Now you can go back to Psalm 33 and find elements of this. A new song unto thee, O God. And of course, we look forward to the day when we'll sing that new song with all the redeemed saints, standing on that sea of gold, that great strand before the rainbow throne, and we sing out with all our hearts about the Lamb. Go over to Revelation chapter 4 and chapter 5 and chapter 7 and listen to the song of the saints as they sing to the Lord. It's wonderful. Join me tomorrow, and we'll do some more singing to the Lord on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.